What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? I'm going to drop here to do a little Friday night roundup with you. There's been a whole lot of stuff going on. I'm just going to hit a couple of them because I be all night trying to cover everything that's been happening, all the, you know, good, bad, and ugly. First of all, I want to, I try to keep things light because the world is so heavy, but I could not come on here and not acknowledge that we had yet another massacre, another mass shooting, this time at a bar in California where 12 individuals, I believe, lost their life. Well, 11 and then including the gunman, 12. I don't know what the fuck we gotta do. Like, I've never been a gun person. I'm not a gun person, never been a gun person, not my thing, not my stilo. If it's a situation between you and me and one of us gonna die and I got a gun, well, you know what I'm saying? But to just out here for fun and hunting, that's just not my thing. No knock on people who enjoy doing that. And I have no problem with that. The problem I have are assault rifles. The problem I have is that we live in a country where people value gun rights more than voting rights. You know what I'm saying? People value gun rights more than racism or, some of these other things that are really important. And I'm not advocating that we get rid of the Second Amendment by any stretch of the imagination. However, I am saying I do support background checks. I do support banning assault rifles. I do. Because I don't see what the purpose of that is when, I'm not going to hash it because I think we all know, but when the Constitution was written, there was no police force, there was no army, there was no military. Hell, we were barely a country. And so when they say that, you have the right to bear arms, that's when people lived like 30 miles away from their nearest neighbor, and if they had a problem on their property, it was them protecting their property. We're no longer in that situation. So, I understand that. What I think people forget to understand is that the Constitution is a living document. It has been altered over the years. It has been adjusted over the years. And for them to act like we can't touch the Second Amendment, shit. In the original version of the Constitution, my ass was 3/4 of a person. Hello? I wasn't even a whole person. I was property. And they only counted me as 3/4 of a person because the South wanted their cake and eat it too. Don't get me started. I do this for a living. So I'm going to stop right there because I could go way, way, way left with that. But understand, adjusting the Second Amendment is not infringing upon people's rights, especially if it's going to save lives. And with that, I'm going to move on. Since we already on politics, I'm going to go ahead and just touch on the midterms. I've done 2 videos, well, technically 3 videos on voting. I did a video earlier this week on what we got out of the midterm election. So I'm just going to touch a couple of quick things I wrote down. First of all, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, bitch, if you need a liver, a lung, I don't know, whatever you need from me to keep you alive, until this mofo is no longer in office, boo, call me, because I got you. Whatever you need, I got it. Somebody put on their Facebook that they've been watching too much Scandal to believe that I want to keep calling her Ralph, that Ruth Bader Ginsburg fell on by accident. I was like, you know what? You ain't lying. Better keep an eye on these people. But she's doing better. She's out of the hospital. They said she's already back to work. She is determined to stay alive until Trump is out of office, because she is determined not to let Trump get that seat. So we're just going to pray that her plans matches God's plans. Hello? Okay. Jeff Sessions gets fired. Jeff Sessions is a racist. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about his feelings being hurt. I don't care that Trump treated him like shit. Welcome to the club, bitch. Jeff Sessions, the one good thing he did is what cost him his job. The one good thing he did was recuse himself from the Mueller investigation because legally he had to, and that's what cost him his job. Because he's a racist. I mean, he was locked up with Trump on everything else except for that. So now the problem is, the question is it constitutional for Trump to do what he did by putting someone in place? Because here's the question for those of you who are not sure. And for those of you who don't do politics, just stick with me for another minute because I'm going to be done with it in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and get it out the way. But the question is, here's the thing. The Constitution says that the person has to be Senate approved, right? Even in an acting position. Now, if Trump had promoted the deputy who has to be Senate approved, that would be fine because that person has already gone through a confirmation hearing. But this dude, Trump pulled out his ass. This dude has never been before the Senate, has never been approved. And to be honest with you, he wouldn't get approved based on statements he's made about the Mueller investigation. So we're going to see where that goes. But again, we don't have control of Congress yet. Of the House yet. And so this is going to really fall on the same people that ain't been doing shit for the last 2 years. So, don't hold your breath that anything is going to really happen. What I do anticipate is, because people are making it very clear that he's breaking the law, that he is not following the Constitution. So what I hope doesn't happen is that the Democrats get into office and they're so focused on getting him out of office that they forget to, fix some shit and pass some laws and undo some of the shit that he's done. Because people put them in place because they're sick of what they see it happen. What we don't want, and don't get me wrong, I want him impeached as much as the next person. But what we don't want is us to get beat down in minutia of hearings. And then people start thinking, oh, the Democrats are just being petty. And, now nothing's happening. So I hope that they're about taking care of business. And, we can deal with the hearings. Like, I'm not saying don't have nothing. Because Mama Maxine going to get his ass. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. We got we have more than two. But we have the two of the major runoffs in Georgia and in Florida. Now, this is what I'm going to say about Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams said, let me tell you what I'm not going to do. I ain't conceding shit. Because it is too many uncounted votes. And I'm too close to winning this shit. I ain't conceding shit. Gillum. What you concede for? The fuck? That shit was too close. Anyway, he coming back now talking about something. He's, open to the recount, whatever. Yeah, all right. So we'll see how that gonna go, because, Last but not least, I want to give a definite shout out, thumbs up, clap, to Miss Jordan Davis. If you're not familiar with who Miss Jordan Davis is, Jordan Davis' son. If you guys recall a few years back, I don't know, about maybe 5 or 6 years ago, it was right after the Trayvon Martin situation, murder, excuse me, I don't want to say situation, right after the Trayvon Martin murder, some young guys pulled into a gas station and they were shot because the guy said that they were playing their music too loud, remember that? And he actually went to jail, thank God, he did. He almost got away with that shit, but he ended up going to jail. The mother of the young man who was killed, her name is Jordan Davis. And she was elected to Congress on a nonviolent gun control platform. Not nonviolent, a gun control platform. So we definitely want to send a shout out to her. That's definitely a way to turn your heartache into triumph. And even though you could not be there, your son was viciously murdered in a racist attack. You can maybe some way help somebody else's child come home, right? So definitely shouts out for that. All right, now let's get to some fuckery. CardiB. CardiB's sick. She's been having seizures. Now, I've heard rumors. They said it's connected to her butt shots and it's connected to this and connected to that. Now, we know that these butt shots are definitely dangerous. We know that that is poison you are basically injecting into your system. And once it gets into your bloodstream, it can be fatal. We saw what happened with K. Michelle, where she was very sick for a long time, and she had to have surgery to get that stuff out of her, and they still said they'd never be able to get all of it out, and she's going to have scars for the rest of her life dealing with that. Now, CardiB, we know, had some enhancements, I don't know how much enhancement she had. I don't know, what, where, who, and how. I don't even know if that rumor is true. I do know it is a fact that she has canceled dates. If you saw my video about GHO, that's North Carolina A&T State University's homecoming last weekend, She was actually supposed to be at that concert. There's always a concert at the homecoming. There's always a big concert. I don't know about anybody else, but I know at A&T, there's always a big concert. And she was supposed to be one of the headliners, or the headliner, I guess, at that particular show. And she canceled. She backed out. And Meek Mill actually took over and was able to fill in her slot. But yeah, she did cancel, and it says that she's canceled her shows for the next month or so. So whatever is going on with her, we don't know, but definitely want to send out prayers. And if it is connected to plastic surgery or any type of enhancements that she had, once again, I just say to these women and men too, we got to find a healthier way. I'm not saying don't have enhancements, because I would. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I would never have any work done if I had the money and the luxury of having work done. Hell, I'm in the process of having my teeth worked on. So, and it's a process, and it is an expensive process, and it is a scary process because shit. But we got to find a way to do it in a healthier manner. We cannot risk our life. I mean, I know all surgery is a risk, but you know what I'm saying. To inject an illegal substance into your body, that's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. So we just going to send prayers up to Miss CardiB. I love it when somebody pull a good caper. You know what I'm saying? When shit just happened out of nowhere and you ain't even see it coming and you like, oh, damn, where'd that come from? I love it. Gabby Union and Dwayne Wade, they pulled a caper on our asses, did they not? They been living their best life. They ain't skip a beat on social media, because I follow Gabby on Snapchat and IG, and she loves her social media. And she's always everything from her workout routine to them traveling the world and all kinds of stuff. And I love watching, because I love watching them. I think they're such a cute couple. And I've always been a Gabby Union fan, and I've always been a Dwayne Wade fan. And they ain't skip a beat, you know what I'm saying? And then they just announced 2 days ago that they welcomed a daughter via surrogate. Now, Gabby Union did open up in her book about her struggles with infertility, and that her and Dwayne Wade have had multiple miscarriages. And so I am happy for them, because I know that they, based on what they said, not because I know them personally, but I know that they wanted children, but they certainly wanted at least a child. And for them to have a little girl, because they have boys, I think it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I'm so happy for them. But they pulled a cape, but they ain't tell nobody shit. Well, I'm going to say nobody, us. We didn't know nothing about it. And, but that's the way to be. You know what I'm saying? Because so much can happen when you're dealing with surrogates and inseminations and all this other stuff that goes into it. And the fact that you've had the miscarriages and the disappointments, I can only imagine that, they probably had their breath, holding their breath for the last 9 months until this was just a done deal. And so shouts out to the woman who gave them their greatest joy, and shouts out to, anybody who helped make it happen. And I know they're going to make some great parents. And just in time, Dwayne Wade is retiring. He could be, hands on deck type of dad. So it's great. I'm happy for them. And then we see today where Michelle Obama opened up that she had in vitro, because she had miscarriages. And so Sasha and Malia are here via in vitro fertilization. And so again, people think it's so easy for women to just get pregnant and have kids. They don't know. So many people, especially men, just don't understand the struggle. We see some women who just pop out babies like pop, 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 and usually the ones that ain't supposed to be having babies. But then on the flip side, we see people who try over and over and over again and constantly get disappointed, or are only able to conceive one child. Or when they do conceive a child, the child has a lot of health issues and things of that nature. So, I definitely, and in vitro is not cheap. I had friends who went through it, and it is an expensive, tedious process. It's very hard on the woman, because she has to change her diet. She has to inject herself with a lot of medication. The medication is expensive. The process is expensive, and it usually doesn't work the first time. And it's about, I don't want to exaggerate, but if I remember my quote correctly, it's about $100,000 a pop. And that's after, well, no, let me not say that's after insurance, because I can't say that. But I know that it's about $100,000 a pop. Now, I'm sure insurance weighs in, but insurance does not cover everything. I know insurance does not cover a lot of the medication. Or it does, but the prices are still very expensive. my girlfriend who went through it, she actually, because she's that type of person, she actually went online and researched a lot of what she needed in the medicine and was able to find, things cheaper, and she was able to really, but even with that, it still was a very expensive process after insurance. So shouts out to women who have to go through these things to have babies. I mean, I don't have children and I have no desire to have children. However, I found out at a very young age, like in my early 20s, that if I had wanted to have children, it would be a very hard process for me due to some hereditary shit that I'm out of college having all these problems, not to go into no details, but when it was all over said and done, that's what was told to me, was like, look, when you're ready to have children, you're going to have to start seeing a specialist, and there's going to be a process. And, that didn't discourage me, because I've never really been interested in having children. So that didn't discourage me. But had I been the type of person that wanted children, that would have really been a hard thing. And how do you meet a man, fall in love, and then tell him, look, I may not be able to give you children? So it's a lot. It's not as easy as people think it is, especially men. So shouts out to Dwayne Wade and Gabby Union. And shout out to Michelle Obama for sharing. I'm so excited because her book comes out next week. And I actually have tickets to go see her. She's doing a book tour. So I'm actually going November the 25th. Whatever, the Sunday after Thanksgiving, I'm going. And I'm not sure what the camera policies are going to be, but I certainly will bring you what I can. I'm not going to videotape the whole damn thing, but I'll definitely bring you guys what I can and share with you. But I'm really excited about it. I'm sitting here messed up. I done let my notes close on me. I just let my notes close on me. But I do know, here we go. All right. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. One last thing, and then we're going to get out of here, y'all. This is my duster. I don't know why I picked this up. I'm playing with it. The dust thing goes over top of that, and then you can dust like that. While I'm playing with it, I don't know. But I just didn't want y'all to think I was holding something crazy in my hand. So, as I'm scrolling the shade room, something caught my eye. Y'all, King of Diamonds is closed. Now, if you ain't never been to King of Diamonds, let me tell you something. It was an experience. It's an experience. I have not been to Miami in many years. Matter of fact, I have not been I was in Miami the week that the verdict from the Trayvon Martin trial came down. I remember being in Miami when they announced not guilty. Matter of fact, I was leaving the next day, and I vowed that I would not to go back to Florida until the stand your ground law had been repealed. And I have not. I have not been back to Florida now. I am actually going to Florida next month, but I'm not going to Miami, but I am still going to the state of Florida. But that will be my first time going back since the Trayvon Martin verdict. With that being said, though, that has nothing to do with this story. King of Diamonds. With that being said, I used to go to Miami all the time, right? Because before 9/11, y'all, I'm talking too much. Before 9/11, airfare used to be cheap as shit. I don't know if y'all remember that, but I know I do. I used to be able to fly to Miami. Me and my friends would fly to Miami. We could fly to Miami for less than $100 round trip. And this is what we would do. Let me tell y'all what we would do. We would fly down either Saturday night or early Sunday morning. I mean, either Friday night or early Saturday morning, like the first thing out of D.C. Sunday morning. Get one of those cheap flights. We would get a last minute deal. We would go on like hotels.com or whatever and get one of them last minute deals. And we would stay at like the W. We would stay at the Ritz-Carlton. Like all those different like real expensive places for damn near nothing. Now mind you, we were young too, and it was like 4 of us sharing a hotel room. So we were splitting it 4 ways anyway. 4 or 5 ways sometime, y'all. But I remember one time, and I hate to admit this, but we ended up at a suite at Trump International, whatever, down there, because they screwed up our reservations, and they just kept upgrading us. And finally, by the time they got done, we had a suite, honey. You couldn't tell us nothing. Now, in hindsight, it was Trump, but it was free. So anyway, because by the time they got done, honey, the suite was free. But we used to go down there all the time. Now, with that being said, I have been to the King of Diamonds a time or two. This is what I don't understand. The club closed because of some chicanery going on, fraganackle going on with the money and shit not being paid, and one owner, this owner. I didn't read all the details, but I know it was over some money and it was a foreclosure. Honey, let me explain something to you. On a bad night, I ain't even gonna say on a good night, on a bad night at King of Diamonds, it was enough money on that floor to pay that goddamn mortgage 10 times over. I promise you. I promise you. How in the hell? See, that is some fuck shit right there. That you let a gold mine like King of Diamonds close over some bullshit because people can't keep their books, or just business bullshit. I'm pretty sure a new club is going to open. It's going to be King of Diamonds 2 or some new name, Queen of the South, some shit. I don't know. Something else is going to open up and it's going to rival King of Diamonds. But it's like, R.I.P., you know what I'm saying? Because, like, I mean, and I'm not even a player like that. And I done been to King of Diamonds a couple of times. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, millionaires used to be up in there. Celebrities. Like, everybody that came through Miami tried to get it. I mean, that was just something to do. It was like on the checklist of going to Miami. King of Diamonds, check. You know what I mean? So, I don't know how they let it close, y'all. Anyway, that's my roundup this week. I do have a couple of more gossip videos. I've been getting some tea on a few things, but I gotta wait for some stuff to, people tell you, like I'm starting to feel like a little, people are starting to tell me stuff, right? So I'm getting like some inside scoop on shit, but then I gotta wait for something to happen before I can tell y'all about it. So I got a couple of stories that I'm sitting on. Not big time gossip, YouTube shit, right? YouTube gossip. But as soon as I can drop it, I'm dropping it, y'all. So with that being said, I hope y'all have a great weekend. I'm headed up to Philadelphia this weekend to celebrate. My girlfriend, the one that I was telling y'all, had the IV treatment. Her daughter is 2 now, and her birthday is tomorrow. So I'll be driving up for the birthday party, and that's going to be my Saturday. I'm not sure what I'm going to get into Sunday. I had plans, but those plans just got canceled. So I'm going to see what, maybe we'll do a podcast for y'all this weekend. Maybe we'll drop one on y'all Sunday. I got to talk to the folks, see what everybody getting into. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great weekend, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.